Hey everyone, week 8. Okay, it's all about abs today. So there's no leg exercises, no upper body exercises, just abdominals. So let's get straight into it. Everyone lying on your backs. We're going to do our bent knee fallouts to warm up our T-zone because we really need to have that warmed up. Arms are by our side. Your chin is tucked, so you're holding an orange. Your spine is in neutral. So just with your feet down, knees bent, arms by your side, just lift your butt and then lower it down. And you should feel that your spine is in neutral. You should have a little gap between the mat and the back and your back. Okay, take a breath in and take the leg out to the side and exhale, pushing the rib to the hip as you breathe out, pulling that leg back to center. Inhale, take that leg out to the side and breathe out, bring the leg back. So for 8 on each side, just like we normally do, and breathe out as you bring that leg back. Making sure that your T-zone or your pelvic floor is switched on and your abdominal muscles from hip bone to hip bone are engaged as you draw that leg back. You'll feel this in your lower abs and in your pelvic floor if you're doing it correctly. I don't want you to feel this just in your legs. I want you to feel it in your belly muscles as you draw that leg back, keeping both buttocks on the ground, not rocking from side to side. Breathing out to bring it back up, making the leg light as you take it out to the side and drawing it back, it still feels light. So you're using your belly muscles to do this. And breathe out. Let's go for one more on each side. Drawing it back. No rocking through the hips, keeping the hip bones square to the ceiling and both knees engaged and to the ceiling. Okay, our next exercise are leg slides. So as you take this leg out, I want you to really concentrate more on the breath rather than anything else and pushing the rib towards the hip so you don't arch through your lower back area. So arms are by our side, chin's tucked. We're just going to slide our heel along our mat and then slide the leg back. So exhale, sliding the heel along the mat, taking the leg out. And inhale, bring that leg back, really concentrate on using your belly to bring the leg back and placing the foot flat. Exhale, take the other leg out. And inhale, draw it back to center. Exhale, push the rib to the hip. And inhale, bring the leg back. Making sure that you're using all the muscles to take that leg out, so not rocking through your hips, taking that leg out. Your legs should still feel light, but you should feel a tension in your lower abdominal area. As you take that leg out and even drawing it back in, you should feel that your muscles are engaged in your belly area to bring it out. Bringing it out, taking it back. The other important part is to the leg that's staying stable, that knee does not move away from the ceiling, keeping it engaged at all times. And out. So breathing out, push the rib to the hip, and breathing in to bring the leg back. Nice and relaxed through the upper body and drawing that leg back. And exhale, inhale. One more on each side. Let's take that leg out and bring it back. Exhale, take the other leg out and inhale to draw the leg back. I don't know about you, but it's raining at my house. Only little spits, but it's raining here and it sounds so nice on the roof. So I hope that's what you're listening to tomorrow when you do this Pilates exercise. All right, we're going to do leg circles. With our leg circles, we're taking one leg straight up towards the ceiling The other knee is staying bent in the same position. You're going to place your hands by your side and you're going to take this leg down past your knee. You're going to rotate your leg out so your foot is sitting out of its hip socket. Taking the leg down, circling the leg around and bringing it back to center. You're going to do 8 of these on one leg and 8 on the other. Now it is very important that when you take the leg down, you only lower it so that you're still supported through your lower back, and you only take it out as far as you can without rocking through your hips. So both buttocks, be really aware that both buttocks stay on the mat. So let's take one leg up towards the ceiling. Rotate your leg out of your hip and exhale. Inhale, bring the leg around. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, bring the leg around. Really concentrate on using that inner thigh muscle to turn that leg out and then to sweep it around for 3. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, draw it up. That's halfway. Exhale, draw the rib to the hip. Sweep it around without rocking through those hips. I do not want the other buttock to move off the ground, so you can only take it as far as you can. Also making sure that your leg, the leg that's stable, does not move. One more. And roll it around. Placing the foot back onto the floor. Okay, other leg towards the ceiling. Rotate the foot so the leg is out of its hip socket and breathe out. Roll the leg around. Exhale. Roll the leg around. So you should feel this in your abdominals as you lower that leg, and then as you sweep it around, you feel it in your inner thigh as well as your abs. So that's number 3. Sweep it around. Some of you may only go slightly down and around. That's fine as well. But don't rock through those hips. Keeping both buttocks on the ground. Don't rock from one side to the other. Got one more. Taking it down, around, and lower the leg to the ground. Nice work. Okay, abdominal curls is what we've got next. Now we're going to do them 2 ways. First off, we're all going to have our feet on the ground. Secondly, then we're going to have our feet into tabletop. And when we go to tabletop, I've got something else for those that aren't quite as strong in their lower back. So our hands are behind our head. The head is resting in the palm of your hands. Your feet are on the floor, your knees are bent. And you're going to exhale, curling up, looking through at the knee. Inhale to return. Breathe out. And return. Making sure you're rolling through your shoulders, not lifting through your neck. Keep that chin tucked like you have an orange between your neck and your chin. And rolling down. Keeping the elbows nice and wide so you're not pulling on the neck. So light fingers on the back of your head as you curl up, looking at the knees. Inhale to return. 2 more. Breathe out. And 1 more. And down. So we're all going to do them with our legs in tabletop now, but if you find that you have trouble with your lower back and imprinting your spine, keep one leg on the floor, okay? So you can do 4 repetitions like this and swap your legs over and do 4 repetitions on the other leg. For those that are strong enough, you're going to imprint your spine now, so drawing your abdominals down into your back. Don't rock your hips to your belly to do that, but you're drawing your abdominals down to support your lower back. Hands are behind our head. Our feet are in tabletop, so one leg up, other leg up, feet together, knees together. And you have that 90-degree angle at all times. Do not let those knees come back past your hips. They need to be in line with your hips at all times. And let's exhale, curl up, inhale to return. Elbows nice and wide. Exhale, curling up, inhale to return. That's 2. Breathe it out, looking at the knees. This is number 4, you're halfway. For those that have one leg on the ground, swap the legs over. That's 5, 6, nice, smooth, deliberate movements. You got one more. And roll it back down, take the feet to the ground. Okay, we're going to do our bicycle legs, but we're going to do them as we did the other day, supported. So you can either sit up in a V or you can be supported in a V. If you're supported in a V, you have your elbows on the ground, your hands under the back of your hips, and your legs are in tabletop, so you're supporting yourself. But the one thing when you're supporting yourself is make sure that you can feel it in your lower abs, because that's where you're going to feel it the most. And for those that are strong enough, you're going to be in a V position and you're just going to take your legs out. So we're going to do 8 on each side. So pick your position, either hands behind your back and your elbows are down. I don't want them out like this, I want them like this, and your chest is up, chin is tucked, and we're going for 8 on each side. So 8, 7, 6, breathe out, 'So it's 8 on each side, and let's go. Nice straight back. Last one. Bring the knees to the chest. Give yourself a bit of a rock out. Very good. Okay, helicopters. So helicopters are the scissor, roll the legs around. So the bottom leg ends up at the top and the top leg ends up at the bottom. You're going to also be sitting up or rolling up to look at your knees at all times. For those that aren't as confident in doing it, you can place your hands down and your head down, and you can do it this way, scissor, scissor, helicopter, or you can place your hands behind your head. But for those that are confident in what they're doing, your positioning is arms are by your hips and your legs are in the air. So let's get into our position. And curling up, and we've got helicopter, helicopter, turn it around, or scissor, scissor, helicopter, scissor, scissor, helicopter. Don't rock through those hips, Jan. I want you to keep both buttocks on the ground. They are nice, slow, deliberate movements. Keep it going. This is halfway. That's 4. Helicopter, helicopter, and around. Scissor, scissor, and around. And around. One more. And around. Bring the legs in. Woo. Good work, ladies. All right. We're going to do a plank. So what I want everyone to do, have a quick drink first. That's where we'll start. And so our plank is on our elbows as normal. You can either be on your knees, pardon me, or you can be on your toes, preferably on your toes. I'm sure you're all on your toes by now. Oh, pardon me. Okay, so you can either hold one foot in the air and lower it for 10 seconds each time, or you can drop your knees, or you can just hold the plank. I don't care which one you do, so long as you just hold the plank using your abdominals. So if you feel this in your lower back, you are doing it wrong. If you feel it in your upper body where you're holding on with your shoulders and your arms, you're feeling it wrong. It is all about your abdominals and drawing your abs up to meet your back. So let's get into our position. Oops, need the clock. Give me a half a second. Have a clock. All right. We are going to start in 5. Elbows down. 4. And we're on. You're in your position. Okay, that's 10 seconds in. Lift one foot. Everyone stay strong. And lower, lift the other foot. That's good work. And lower, let's do knees for 10. Do not drop those hips, just drop the knee. Okay, lift one foot. You're almost there. Okay, lift the other foot. And let's do our knees to finish it. 3, 2, you're done. Good work. Come back onto your shins. Give your body a stretch out. Nice. All right, we're going to go into our obliques or our side abs, okay? So, we're going to do oblique curls, one arm out and just one side for 8, other side. Then we're going to do our crisscross without crisscross. Then we're going to do some toe taps and then our hip raises. So, we are laying on our backs once more. One arm is out to the side, the other is behind your head. What we're going to do first, we're going to do 2 lots of these. We're going to do it with our legs down or our feet on the floor, and then we're going into tabletop. So we're going to exhale, curl up, taking the opposite rib to the opposite hip. Exhale and curl down for 8, 7. Really visualize the opposite rib going towards the opposite hip. 5, 4. Keep that elbow wide. 3, 2, looking past the thigh. And 1. Other hand goes straight out. Opposite rib to opposite hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really use the oblique. 6, 7, and 8. For those that are strong enough, I want your legs in tabletop, so imprint the spine, both legs go up. For those that aren't quite so strong, one leg is to stay down, and it's the arm that's out straight that the leg stays up. The arm that's bent with the hand behind the head, the leg goes down. So we're going for 8, 8, 7. Don't let those hips rock. 5, 4, 3. Looking past the thigh as you come up. 2. And 1. Other side. Hand behind the head. One leg down. Opposite leg up. Do not let this 90-degree go away. Exhale, coming up. Inhale to return. Don't rely on the leg that's being supported. Make sure that you don't push the leg into or the foot into the mat. This is 4, 5. Breathe out. 6, 7, and 8. Let's take our feet to the floor. Crisscross. Sorry, but the only way you can do this is if both legs are in tabletop, feet are apart, knees are apart, hands are behind your head, imprinting the spine, T-zones tight, and opposite leg goes out to the opposite way. You twist for 8, 8, 7, 7. Don't let that knee come back past your hip. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last 2, 1. Take it out. Bring the knees to the chest. Nice work. Toe taps for our lower abs. Legs are in tabletop, curled up with our hands behind our head, and our arms, I'd like by our hips. For those that aren't quite strong, one leg stays down and you do 8 toe taps on one side and 8 toe taps on the other. So, fingertips are towards the ceiling. Both buttocks are on the ground. Do not let them release and go towards your chest. Take your legs to tabletop and curl up, holding there. So we're going for tap. Do not let this move. Tap, tap. Breathe out. Don't bend the knee. Take the hip or the hip socket down. That's 3. That's 4. Keeping your shin bones in line with the ceiling at all time. This is 6. Breathe out. No doming through your belly. Keep your belly nice and tight. Nice flat back. One more on each side. And bring the knees to the chest. Ooh, have a little drink. Nice work, girls. We're going to do hip raises next. So hip raises are when we're on our elbow, when we lift our hips using our side obliques to lift us. Don't use your legs to lift you. If you're not strong enough to have your legs straight out, you bend your knees and making sure that you're a straight line butt. So no butt pushing back and chest forward, one straight line. Okay, laying on your side. Pushing the hips forward so it's a straight line. Elbows slightly in from your shoulder, so it just looks like it's slightly in. Hand is either behind your head or it's resting on your hip. If your knees are bent, you still have that flat belly through here. Don't be like this, because if you're like this and your butt's back and your chest is forward, you're not going to use your underneath abs. So one straight line. And we're just going to lift and lower for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You should feel it under here. 3, 2, 1. Keep that T-zone turned on at all times. I know I've been a bit slack in telling you about your T-zone, but I'm sure by now that you know that that T-zone must be engaged through all exercises. Okay, other side. Elbow is in slightly. Feet are on top of each other. To start with, if your knees are bent, you take your knees back now, or your feet back now. If your legs are straight, your hand is behind your head, and you're going to lift your hips. Try not to lift through your legs. 2, 3. Try not to put your hip back onto the ground. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. I'd like to take that just a little bit further and do some underneaths. They're called stars, mermaids, they've got a couple of names. So instead of being on your elbow, which you can be, I'm going to show you different ways to do it. So if you're on your elbow, your arm is up and you're twisting under. So, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. You're twisting under. If you're on your knees, you're on your elbow and you're just going under, coming straight. Under, coming straight. Sorry, your arm is up. Or you can be on your hand, legs, whoops, are out, and it's under and up. Okay, we're going for 8 on each side. So pick your positions. Trudy, Candice, Carly, you all should be doing this on your hand and being able to go under. Even Kelly, I think you should be able to do it as well. Give it a go, Robin, because I think maybe you should get a few out and maybe drop to your knees or your elbow later. Okay, are you ready? We're up. So one foot in front of the other and we're going under. Butt towards the ceiling and out. And 2 and up. And 3 and up. If you're on your knees, keep going, keep going. It's 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Other side. So if you're on your knees, one straight line, and then bend the knees, and oops, I think you have to be on your elbow for your knees. Yep. And hand is up for those that are on their feet, on their hands. Off you go for 8. 7. Keep the body straight. When you come up, push the hips forward. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. You got one more. And done. Lower the legs, lower the body. Sitting up nice and straight. One leg in, one leg back. Hand on the bent knee at the front. And let's stretch. Give those obliques a really good stretch. That's it. Okay, swap our legs over. So this front leg goes back and the back leg comes to the front. the opposite hand touches the front knee and you reach. And you should feel this through that side. Okay, good work, girls. All right, I've got one more. We're going to do hundreds and then our abs are finished for the day. So we're all going to be laying on our backs. 3 positions for hundreds. Your legs are either in tabletop with our feet together. They're either straight up and our toes are pointed, or the legs are slightly down with our feet splayed out. Okay, we will be rolled up looking at the knees the whole time. So, hands are towards the ceiling. We're going to take our hands and place them by our hips. Take a breath in and T-zone's tight. Legs are in tabletop. Pick your position and we're in 2, 3, 4, 5. Pump the hands. 3, 4, 5. In 2, 3, 4, 5. Out 2, 3, 4, 5. In 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Looking at the knees. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. Breathe out. Push that rib to the hip. Breathe in and breathe out. Push the rib to the hip. In 2, 3, 4, 5. Out 2, 3, 4, 5. Curl up a bit more. Out 2, 3, 4, 5. In 2, 3, 4, 5. Out 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. Out 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. And out. Bring the knees to the chest. Abs are done. Let's give our front abs a bit of a stretch. So laying with our legs out. Our arms are straight back. Feel like you're in a vice. So your ankles are being pulled away from you. Your wrists are being pulled away from you and you're stretching through those abdominals. Release one side. So release your right side, but stretch through your left. Your wrist is being pulled away. Your ankle is being pulled away. Stretch through that front ab on your left side. Stretch it and release. Other side. Take your arm up. Wrist and ankle are being pulled apart. You should feel a stretch through the front of your abs. And release. Okay. Stretch anywhere else that feels like it might need a bit of a stretch. If you want, you could go on to your belly, placing your hands in front and stretching up. That gives you a stretch through your back as well as through your abs. While I have a bit of a talk to you. So we've started back one-on-ones at this stage. We're not doing classes, but we are thinking about doing morning classes, but they will be very early at 6 a.m. So for those, I'm going to put an expression of interest out there. They will be done at the park and it'll only be twice a week. So if anyone's interested, just text interested to us. The other thing is I don't know how long it'll be before we get back to Pilates. So I will be doing a couple more of these. I'm not going to say that I'm going to continue continuously, but by the time I'm finished, there should be approximately 10 videos that you can continually go back and forth with. But I am going to be keeping in contact with everyone. Because I've started back PTing, my time is a little shorter, obviously. Crystal is also PTing. She has a Cert 4, so we're both doing that. So if anyone is interested or you know of anyone that's interested in wanting some personal training done, we both have times available. Send us a message and we can give you the times that we're available. Other than that, what we're looking at the moment is probably Tuesday mornings, where I used to have the Pilates. We'll be going down to the park and doing maybe a boot camp down at the old netball courts down near the soccer fields. And then on Friday mornings, we'll be doing a cardio weight or body weight class as well. So if you're interested in going to those, we'd be interested in hearing who would be interested. The reason for that is that we don't want to turn up and nobody turn up, so we need to have some numbers to be able to make it worth our while, especially in winter, to get up at 5 a.m. and go. But just remember, if you're up at 6 doing an exercise, it sets you up for the day and you don't have to think about exercising at the end of the day. If you have any friends or you know of anyone that's interested in doing that, give them our Facebook page, number, whatever, and we'll get in contact with them. But other than that, I hope you enjoy your abdominal Pilates and be talking to you. See ya.